Hello, hello, hello. My name is Ed Jones II. I am the founder of Beyond the Field Player Development. I define player development as the enhancement of the athlete experience through holistic and intentional programming and initiatives. And I came up with that definition from my time in the role as a director of player development and eventually an assistant AD for player development. And I was able to do that at 3 universities. University of Houston with their football team, University of Kansas with their football team, and Baylor University with their football team. Since then, I've transitioned and I provide coaching, content, and courses to help those in player development and those who are looking to get into player development. And one way I'm able to provide player development resources to others is podcasts like today, where I'm able to answer the most asked questions from sports management students or students in general about player development. So let's get straight into it. But before we get straight into it, let me tell you how I section these questions. I section these questions into career, networking, the role, and education. For today's episode, I'm answering the top 10. Now, if you want all, let me see how much you got here, 33 that I'm answering, you can go into the show notes and download the student guide document down there. You can get all 33. But you all listening, I'm gonna give you the first 10. All right, number 1, how to get an internship with player development at the university or at a university. This is a career question. First of all, you need to see if player development is happening at your university. So I'll give a couple stories of how I was able to get interns to work for me. Number 1, when I worked at Houston, the first intern I had, he reached out. He sent me a message. He wanted to get in football. He wanted to get in sports. They told me I could have an intern. He wanted to work in recruiting. It all worked out. I told him, hey, if you give me a year, I'll help you do what you want to do. Just come to player development. So that's how I got my first intern. The intern reached out. The second intern or interns we got, where we created a full internship program. So now we were going to look for interns, and we reached out to the sports management program on campus. Now I got 2 interns in that program from speaking to international students. This is a crazy story, true story happened at University of Houston. So what I did, one of the roles I took on was speaking to our international students. One of the big reasons I wanted to do that is I like speaking. International students didn't know much about football, but it was a way for me to connect with the campus in the role. And for people to say on campus, hey, football team comes over and talks to our athletes. Nobody wanted to do that. Someone was supposed to represent athletics. Nobody wanted to do it. It came to me because the lady who ran it went to college with my mom. She's like, hey, do you want to come over? I was like, absolutely. So anyway, I'm doing this presentation, and then I talk a little bit about what I do in the presentation. So I'm talking about football, talking about athletics, how they can come to the games for free and all that. And 2 young ladies come up and they're like, hey, really like what you do. Are you looking for an intern? And I'm explaining what I do. And they're like, so do you need an intern? I was like, absolutely, I really do. So that was another way. Another way at Kansas, shout out to Lauren Hawkins. This is how I was able to find Lauren Hawkins. I sent once again to the sports management department, Dr. Bass and his group. And I said, hey, we're looking for interns. Lauren filled out the application or sent in, I forgot what we sent out. Maybe it was a resume, sent some stuff back, but she sent it back and got the internship. So if you're looking to get an internship, a lot of it has to do with the engagement that you have, either the opportunities there, which you heard me, I got interns when the opportunity was there, or people made the opportunity by reaching out and saying, hey, do you need help? Here's the thing. Every single person that's in player development, student athlete development, whatever it may be, they need help. Everybody working in sports at a university needs help. So you can, in some instances, create that internship by finding out who's doing it, or finding out somebody on staff and saying, hey, well, who does this? Some interns, I know a lot of the people who are switching over to player development, or I spend a lot of time answering a lot of questions, from student assistants, was equipment managers. They saw some gaps. How do you fill them? They found out I fill the gaps and wanted to know if I needed help. So you got to be proactive to find an internship. Question number 2, how to position myself to get opportunities in the sports industry as I'm working on my master's degree. This is a career question. It's very similar to the first question I just answered, but I will use this episode right here. So this episode with Savannah Bailey, there's a crucial part of the episode where she talks about how she reached out to people for her assignment. She was saying, hey, I have this assignment and I need to interview you or whatever it may be. Now, did she have an assignment? No, but it was genius what she did. And so if you want to get opportunities in the sports industry, I would just take what Savannah said. And I would reach out, you're doing your master's degree. Hey, I have to do this project for my master's degree for completion, whatever. Reach out and see what happens. But once again, it's networking, it's getting out, getting to know people, different things like that. See what's available and go from there. Question number 3, here's a networking question. How to network in person? What events should I look into? So this is a good question. Networking in person, one of the things that can help you networking in person is understanding who may be there, who may show up, and doing your research. Like if it's an event where there's going to be speakers or panels, things like that, you can do research on those speakers. And doing research helps make the networking conversation a little easier. What event should I look into? Excuse me. Okay, what event should I look into? Don't underestimate sporting events. Don't underestimate sporting events. And one event or events that happen, you got your big revenue sports. So you got football, basketball. At some places it could be baseball, other sports. But there's some other Olympic sports. There's people that have to work there. So there's a lot of sports professionals there, and it's not a lot of people. And so if you keep continuing to go to these events, you may bump into someone and say, hey, I've seen you around. What do you do? So that you got to be strategic as well. Because if you go to a football game and say, and you're at a university, let's say you're at the University of Michigan. I'll use them because they just won a national championship. You say, I'm going to go to a football game and network. It's not happening. Not happening. But you may want to go to another sport where there's fewer people in attendance. Maybe it's a little more laid back. Like, for instance, I used to have great conversations with people that were in sports. When I was a marketing intern, I would talk to everybody during baseball games. A lot of people are in the clubhouse. It's a slower sport, takes a little more time. I know they got pitch counts and all that stuff now, or pitch clocks, but you need to look into that too. So those are events. Of course, conferences are always good. Shout out to my N4A people. If you're looking to get in the athlete development space, N4A is a really, really good place where you can meet a lot of people. There's a lot of sports conferences out now. The player development conference. Hey, look out. I'm just saying, we have a networking night on Thursday. So if you haven't got your ticket, the information is in the show notes. But as far as in person, there's a lot of ways to be strategic about that. Question number 4, what are good places to intern other than colleges for sports? So this is a career question. You can try and get an internship with a professional sports team or a professional sports team on any level. Those are opportunities. A lot of people, and this person asked this question is probably saying other than college because they're hearing people say use college. The reason why is there's more spots in college. It's a numbers game. And I meet a lot of people in this video, specifically the students who are like, I'm locked in. I want to work in the NFL. I want to work in the NBA. I want to do this. I want to do that. Love goals, love dreams. There is a path to get there. And sometimes that path is college. A lot of people I know that work in the professional space in this role started off in college. I'm gonna name them. I hope I don't forget any of them. Dr. Lacey Carmen Johnson with the Raptors. She was in college. Alexander Martin with the Dolphins. He was in college. Dr. Lori Robinson with the Ravens. She was in college. Jessica Gray with the Lions. She was in college. Sean Pugh with the Lions. He was in college. Josh Mariner, who's with the Arizona Cardinals. He was in college. Dr. Jamil Northcutt, who's with the MLS. He spent time in college. Let me see. I don't want to miss my people. But you get it. I'm miss few so many. I don't want to miss. Fernando Velasco, who's with Atlanta Falcons, who'll be speaking at the conference. He was in college. So a lot of people tell you college because there's just a lot of more opportunities in the college space. And because if you look at it, right, if you want to work in the NFL, there's 32 NFL teams. 32, right? 32 NFL teams. If you're looking at player engagement, there's 32 directors of player engagement. That is it. It's never going to change. 32 directors of player development, right? You look at the college space, there's 130 Division I schools. Doing my numbers, about 78, 80 of them have director of player development or a player development role. That's just more. So an internship can be the net's greater in college. But to answer your question, good places to intern other than college for sports. Look at your local professional teams. It could be a minor league team. Don't forsake minor league teams or other teams, but yeah, college just has a wider net. All right, question number 5. What does an everyday perspective look like as a director of player development? This is a role question. You can hear all my interviews in season 2 when I was talking to directors of player development. We laugh. People ask us all the time. You don't know. It's based off every single day you walk in. There's new things that happen, good and bad. There's plants that grow. There's fires that grow. You got to water the plants that grow. You got to put out the fires that grow. So every day is something different. One thing I did do at Baylor, University, is I had a checklist, and so I knew Mondays I was going to do this, Tuesdays I was going to do this, Wednesdays I was going to do this. This helped, but this is not the ultimate aspect. But outside of that, every day you're relationship building. You're spending time with people, be it players, coaches, staff. You're spending time. So every single day perspective, you're building relationships. You're listening. You're critically thinking. You're problem solving every single day. Question number 6: would grad school be a good option? Sports, law, MBA, etc. This is education question. Personally, after I got out of school, I had opportunities to go, and like hindsight, I wish I would have got my master's right out of school. But I think grad school, there are great opportunities there to learn. As this place or as this field is growing, there are organizations like, I know, for instance, the University of Florida, shout out to the Gators, they have an athlete development specialist certification. And so they're providing resources to those who are in the space. And so there are schools that have these options to help with player development. And if you're able to create that, if you're able to get funding, if that's a path you can go, I would say to do it. I would encourage it. I didn't have to do it. I know there's a few others who may not have, but if you can, that'd be a great opportunity for you. Question number 7, can I get in contact with question number 7, can I get into contact with some player development personnel around the country? This is a networking question. Absolutely. The biggest thing you can use is LinkedIn. This is, hello, Candice. This is Jimmy from LinkedIn. Anyway, you can use LinkedIn. And this is a great platform for you to use because you're able to see what they're doing, the different programs they've done, and different things that they're passionate about, especially if they're on there doing certain things. And so you're able to reach out. I know there's a lot of people that make time for people on LinkedIn. Alexander Martin, Gus Felder, there's a lot more, Savannah Bailey. These people reach out and give as much as they can. So you can definitely get in contact with people on LinkedIn or other services around the country. And if they're in your city, just reach out, send an email, send a letter, whatever it may be. You definitely can get in contact with them. All right, question number, looks like what number are we on? Number 8. What is the most challenging part of working in player development? This is a role question. For me, it was just the support in the role. That was tough. The support piece was tough. Having the head coach, having administration, fully support what they thought it would be, even what they put the responsibilities as. Struggle with that because the biggest thing in college football is the calendar, and everybody wants a piece of that calendar, and coaches are the most protective of the calendar. But yeah, going back to my career, it definitely would have been support was the most challenging thing, the highest challenge I had in the role. I've seen the good side of it, I've seen the bad side of it. But yeah, support and not you can have people that support and like what you're doing, but I'm talking about, hey, what's my budget line? Hey, can I get professional development? Hey, this program is great. Hey, can I get time? You may not be supported in that situation. They may say, hey, you're doing a great job in the community. You're doing a great job with this career stuff. You're doing a great job with alumni. But like having the support, can I get time? Can you get the players here? Can you come to the programming? So that was definitely the biggest challenge in my career. All right, question number 9. What certifications are recommended for success? This is an education question. Don't have any big time certifications. I talked a little bit about the athlete development specialist. I believe that's what it's called at the University of Florida. Recommended for success, but I will say there are courses that are recommended for success, and one of them is a course that I have. Yes, you can check the show notes out. I have a course, and this course right now is fleshing out as I'm continuing to build. So you buy the course, and I continue to add stuff from my time in the role, and it is a player development guide. It is gonna take you from not knowing what to do to what to do if you're a newcomer. If you're in the role, it's going to show you documents, different things to help with other things like being an academic liaison, being a campus liaison, whatever it may be. And if you're an AD or a head coach looking to create a role, it's going to have information for you in there as well. So if you're looking for that, like I said, Florida has the athlete development special program they do. And I also have a course. Check out the player development course. This course is literally taken from my career, and I give you everything I did in my career. You will leave with documents. You'll leave with scenarios. You will leave knowing that you are able to crush it in the role. All right, question number 10. What is the best? Question number 10. What is the best? Question number 10. What is the best path for someone to take if they are interested in working in pro sports? So this is another career question, another pro sports question. I always tell people whenever they're looking or interested, like, what do you want to do there? What value you can provide and why? Know your why, right? Because if you just want to work with, like right now, currently I live in Kansas City, and if people want to, I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but if people want to work with the Kansas City Chiefs because, oh, it's my hometown team, it's probably not the best way to get in there, because you're going to dislike your hometown team very quickly, because working in sports in general is tough, and I've heard working in pro sports can be even tougher at times. So the best path to take if you're interested is look for roles they have, apply, do that, make connections with people, network, but also build skills where you are. You need to build skills where you are to set your application, to set your resume apart from others. Once again, I don't want to crush anybody's pro sports dreams. I'll be honest, I have pro sports dreams that are still there, but also want to let you know that you can create skills that will help prepare you to go to pro sports. Because just like I said in the video last week about undrafted players, my draft video, it's not about getting there, it's about staying there. So for my players that want to go to the NFL, getting there is awesome. I want you to stay there. So getting to pro sports is great, but build the skills that will keep you there. Well, that is the 10 questions for students, sports management students, college students who are interested in player development. If you want more, I am literally about to continue and finish up these questions, these 30 plus questions here. If you want more, click the link in the show note, the student guide to player development. Click that link and you will get the rest of this video and so much more. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And if you're watching this video before May 16th through the 18th, where the player development conference is happening, you need to get your tickets. They're in the show notes. Watch a video here about the player development conference, and watch a video right here about why I'm not in a role and why I am creating content like this now. Have a great day. And as I always say, go out and create generational impact. Don't wait, create that generational impact today.